In today's video, I'm sharing the 10 most common fashion mistakes that are making your outfit look cheap, plus some simple, quick and easy fixes to elevate your look. You are most likely breaking a few of these. I know I'm guilty of some of them myself as well. And they can also apply to anyone, no matter your spending budget, because I hate to break it to you, you can be carrying a designer handbag and still look cheap by making some of these mistakes. This is your first time joining me for a video, welcome. My name's Amanda, and here on my channel, I love to share styling tips and tricks and simple ways that you can elevate your outfit. I love to mix high and low pieces and share things that are currently trending and how to elevate your everyday look. So if you are looking for simple ways to elevate your style, hit the subscribe button for more videos. Let's start off with an obvious one, and this is honestly the easiest one that you can fix, and that is avoiding wrinkled clothing. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a $20 piece or a $200 piece. If it's wrinkled, it's going to look sloppy and cheap. Not to mention, it takes just a few minutes to do and makes a big difference in your overall look. I personally prefer to steam my garments just because I find it a little quicker and easier than getting out an ironing board, for example. Plus, I find that I don't have to worry as much about messing something up with a hot iron as I do a steamer. And also keep in mind that this can apply to something that's been hanging in your closet. Even if you hung it up and it wasn't wrinkled, I find that over time, clothes can just go a little lifeless and limp if they've been hanging for a while and you haven't reached for them. So sometimes I even like to steam pieces that aren't necessarily wrinkled, but they just need a little life put back into them. I find that a steamer just, for some reason, fluffs it up and gives it a little more movement. If you're on the market for a steamer, I'll link my personal favorites below. I have a really good travel steamer I would recommend to everyone, a good handheld steamer if you don't have as much steaming to do, and the large steamer that I use for every day. Another mistake that is cheapening your look is wearing clothing that is pilling. You know those little fuzzies that can show up on sweaters, coats, even leggings? They just instantly make your piece look more worn out. A simple fix for this is getting a fabric shaver. I have been recommending this one from Amazon since 2018, and it is a must-have in anyone's closet. Since we're heading into fall, this is the perfect time to kind of do a little inventory check on your sweaters and coats to see if anything needs some refreshing before you start reaching for them when the weather cools down. Ironically, this is one of those tips that actually often applies more so to more expensive fabrication pieces. I find that wool coats, cashmere sweaters often need a little more care and attention for them, even though they are more expensive. To use a fabric shaver, it's so quick and easy. You just run it over the pilled areas. Often you can find those under the arms, places where your handbag could be rubbing against it, areas of friction basically, and you just want to make sure you're using a light hand. Mistake number 3 is having a poor fit. I feel like this could honestly be a full dedicated video in itself, so let me know if that's a topic you'd be interested in me covering, whether or not something has the right fit or not. A $30 dress that fits you is gonna look more expensive than a $300 dress that doesn't. Some quick examples to look for whether or not your clothing fits you correctly are the straps falling off your shoulders? Are your pants dragging the floor and looking too long and frumpy on you? Is there any gapping at the chest, especially if there are buttons involved? Your clothing is most likely fitting you too tight if you notice any pulling, especially in the hip area, or if your pockets are also puckering or not sitting as flat as they're supposed to. Those are a few things to look for whenever you buy something new to see if it fits correctly, but also if you truly love it, it's not going to cost a ton of money to take it to a tailor and make it perfect. Mistake number 4 is wearing the wrong undergarments. Nothing will take away from your look quicker than showing visible bra straps or having unflattering lines or panty lines. This could be reaching for the incorrect bra that maybe the straps are showing, or maybe your top goes down a little bit longer and it's showing right through the center, or maybe your outfit crosses in the back. Just visible bra lines are something that you want to avoid, as well as visible panty line as well. If you're finding that this is a common issue, or you're not reaching for something in your wardrobe because you don't have the right undergarment, then you need to make a decision whether or not you want to invest in the proper undergarment, or maybe avoid repurchasing that same hemline or top in the future. Mistake number 4 is wearing too many trends at once. Trendy pieces can be fun to add in. They can make your wardrobe look refreshed, but if you're wearing too many all at once, you can look more like a fast fashion ad. My personal style definitely leans a lot more timeless and classic, but I do like to add in a few wearable trends at a more affordable price point. But if I am adding in something trendy, I always just stick to one at a time with the overall look. If you're curious what's trending for fall, I did do a recent video on my personal favorite wearable fashion trends, so I'll link that video here at the top if you want to check it out. Mistake number 6 is all about proportions. This can kind of go in line with wearing something that's not fitting you properly. However, balance is definitely key to your overall look. If you're wearing too many things that are oversized, which I know oversized things are very trendy at the moment, you're just gonna look sloppy instead of put together. There are quite a few things to consider when trying to balance out your proportions and putting together an outfit, so let me know if that's something that you'd want me to dive into in a future video. But the 2 most common mistakes when it comes to improper proportions is wearing things that are too baggy altogether or wearing things that are showing too much skin together. Number 7 is wearing fabrics that are way too see-through and sheer. This is especially common with white tops, leggings, and see-through dresses. So those are the 3 areas I would pay particular attention to, but it can happen with nearly anything. I think it looks much nicer to wear neutral nude skin tone undergarments under lighter colored pieces versus layering a tank top underneath, because if you have extra lines coming through, I think that also cheapens your look. My next few tips are all about neglecting the little details, and I'm going to go into different examples as far as what to look for when adding new things to your wardrobe, because you don't want to buy something right off the bat that already looks cheap. But you can also invest in something and over time not take care of it correctly or just neglect it in a certain way, and things can also look cheap the longer you have them as well. So you want to look for signs like loose threading, uneven stitching. I find that this is probably the most common thing that's going to cheapen your look, especially around any sort of waistline. If they just did a really quick, messy stitch that looks uneven, no matter how you style it, it's still gonna look cheap. And another common thing that's gonna cheapen your look are flimsy buttons or just buttons that look very cheap. Some examples to pay attention to are whether or not clothing has faded over time. This is especially true with black clothing if it's starting to look too light or gray. The most common area that we are probably all easily guilty of, I know I personally am, is wearing shoes that are worn or scuffed, because I'm personally not taking my shoes to the cobbler on the regular, or I'm not like cleaning up my white sneakers after every single wear. As much as that would be nice, I just do not have the time, or I don't necessarily care. But if my white sneakers are looking very dirty, very scuffed up, quick and easy way that I like to clean up my white sneakers is just using a magic eraser. Just wet it and rub it along the sneakers, especially if they're a genuine leather. They're gonna come clean so quick and easy, and it makes a big difference in your look. Another thing that will cheapen your look is wearing things that are tarnished or just unkept. So for example, if you're a handbag girly like I am, if you have had a leather handbag in your collection for years, it probably is needing some moisture. So if you're not taking the time at least once a year to moisturize your leather goods, that could be shoes, handbags, belts, they're gonna look dried out and they could potentially crack over time as well. Next up, you don't wanna avoid the grooming details, because when it comes to looking cheap, it's not always just about your outfit, but your overall appearance as well. You could be wearing the most stunning dress, but if you're rocking it with greasy hair, it's really gonna take away from your overall look. So things like chipped nail polish, deodorant marks on your shirt, even uneven self-tanner on your elbows or ankles, hello, I am definitely guilty of that one, is going to cheapen your overall look. So taking a little extra time in your overall appearance is an important step to making your overall outfit look much better. So the good news is all of these are relatively very quick and simple fixes. It's just a matter of paying attention to the very small details that will make or break your overall look. If you're interested in elevating your everyday style, definitely consider subscribing. I share 2 videos here on my channel every single week. I love to mix high and low and share tips and tricks on how to look and feel more put together every single day. Thank you for joining me for today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.